Oh, shit.
Eine Karte?
$6.5 million liters. That's how much beer was consumed at Oktoberfest last year alone. It takes Munich's breweries 6 months to produce one batch of this for a festival that's been going on for over 200 years. Not including plagues or wars. I'm not sure how many other festivals can claim that. But if you want to drink a mass of this for yourself, there's a few things you have to know. My first Oktoberfest experience started out pretty typical. I was simply an American enjoying my once-a-decade vacation, romping around through Munich, trying to figure out how to order a beer and what the heck a glockenspiel was. Luckily, my friend and I had reserved a few seats at a table through a tour group. Now, if you've never been to Oktoberfest before, this isn't really a bad idea, because not only are you guaranteed seats, they kind of teach you a few of the basics that you need to know. However, after a few mas and our 4-hour reservation was up, I felt like there was a bit more we could explore. So we went out and searched if there were any open seats at one of the beer gardens. Luckily for us, we ran into a group of very friendly locals, who not only invited us to their table, but after a few more mas, they started to open up about a few things that we needed to understand about Oktoberfest. Specifically, what we were doing wrong.
The internet makes it seem nearly impossible to get a seat without a reservation. However, our new German friends gave us a few pointers that we can use. First of all, if there is an open seat, you can always ask the person sitting there if it's free. Hast du Platz für zwei? Now, this won't always work, but there is a way I could have phrased this possibly a little bit better. See how much better that worked using the formal German pronouns? However, if you don't speak German, you have another option. If you show up early, you can find some of the non-reserved tables. These are first come, first serve, and I had no problem finding one at 10 a.m. on a weekday.
So you weren't able to find a seat inside. Luckily for you, there's another option. So all of these places have outdoor beer gardens. And the difference here is pretty much any seat you see is free.
The more we spoke with our new German friends, we began to realize they were a bit of a superstitious bunch. And apparently we were not doing all of the traditions correctly. So if you want to avoid offending everyone at your table immediately, there's a couple more things you need to understand.
Germany is known for having a very advanced drinking culture. Because of this, there are some pretty basic rules that you should really understand before you even pick up your first Mass. Here is the most important one, something that you will be doing all of the time. When you get a beer, when your neighbor gets a beer, when a fun song comes on, you're going to be cheersing with people. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, and let me explain. You're going to notice here, we keep eye contact the entire time. This is extremely important. Otherwise, you are going to give the other person 7 years of bad luck. You're also going to notice that we are cheersing with the bottoms of our beer krug. Now, this isn't exactly required for this type of glassware, but if you're cheersing with someone with a different kind of glass, the beer krug can just smash it. So it's a good habit to get into. Also, I've been told to never pour the beer from one Mass to another. I'm not really sure why, but that's forbidden. There are a lot of songs the locals love singing along to, so it's important to learn some of the lyrics.
Most of the Germans I've met are a lot more friendly and open than I actually was expecting. Not only that, my German friends are some of the funniest people I've ever met. So don't be afraid to talk to them at your table. But if you really want to connect with people, there's a few things you need to understand about German small talk.
Das ist zu teuer. Ich weiß nicht. Du musst das ganze Jahr sparen, um dann ein paar Mal auf die Wiese zu gehen. Weißt du, wenn du so wie ein guter Bayer 3-4 Maß trinkst, dann mit Trinkgeld, was ist da los? Dann mindestens ein Fuffi, dann noch Essen. Genau.
Before coming to Oktoberfest for the first time, I really assumed it was a free-for-all bacchanal. But to be honest, it's a pretty family-friendly event. At least during the day. I was very surprised at how well the Germans could handle their booze. And as it turns out, unsurprisingly, there's a strategy involved.
It can be easy to think that these festivals are only about drinking, but that simply isn't the case. My German friends let me in on their strategy of having a Zwiefer or Zwischenwasser between every few beers. Or even switch it up with a Radler, which is half beer, half lemonade. And by lemonade, I mean Sprite. The second important part of the strategy is food. Bavarian festivals always serve a wide variety of classic meat and veggie dishes. There's too many to list in this video, but suffice it to say, there should be something for everyone's taste. If you're desperate enough, you can always get a Brezen. But I would advise against this, as it's kind of like eating a slightly salted cardboard box.
Something I really appreciate about Oktoberfest is just how genuine it feels. And what I mean by that is people get really excited about it. They dress up in their Tracht, their lederhosen and dirndls, and these things aren't cheap. They cost hundreds if not thousands of euros. Not only that, I love the small touches, like the beer is still delivered to the festival by horse and cart. There are a lot of little things that add up to a very satisfying experience for these festivals. And something that sadly I don't think that we could pull off in the States. Now I've heard people here complaining that the price of a Mass is too expensive, but to be honest, it's probably about what you'd pay for a Bud Light in Times Square. So maybe it's not that bad of a deal as a vacation destination. And now that my entire German audience has tuned out, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully with a Mass in my hand.